This episode is brought to you by Magic Mind, the world's first mental performance shot. It helps you to reduce stress, stay focused, and boost your energy. Use the code WeThemBros20 to get a discount on your first order. Now, back to the show. Welcome back to another episode of the We Them Brothers podcast. We have a very special guest today in the studio.
Yes,
of course,
guest.
I'm Jimmy Hicks. This is Anthony Rogerson. And our very special guest, the illustrious, the talented Miss Jasmine King.
Thank
from
you.
Keller
Nails,
Williams.
Her nails is nails, y'all. I don't know. We might have to zoom in on. She gonna have to do a lot of this while she's talking.
No, y'all, I'm gonna keep them down.
No. Put them.
No, I was about to say, yeah.
If you want to be like this all day, you know what I'm saying?
Show me the money.
Right,
Okay?
exactly.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's a beautiful day today. All the energy is right, so I'm feeling good today.
Nice,
How y'all
nice.
doing? Y'all good?
Can't complain,
I
man.
seen you
Got
recently. What you? I ain't seen you in a
I'm
minute though.
behind the scenes.
Got that good jobs numbers
My
reporting.
bad. We ain't need your tax bracket no more.
So everything is good, and I'm sorry I'm a little congested. I got. They didn't have the air temp set the way I needed it to be in here. Where's my purifier? I need what's that? Thing? I need an air purifier in here. Somebody get fired. But no, the struggle continues to be real.
It does.
Right, we talking about these real estate street struggle.
Yep.
We are seeing in my opinion, what we're seeing a rinsing out of. There were some agents in the market that probably shouldn't have been in the market.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Right, there were some loan officers in the market that probably shouldn't have been in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Got in when it was hot and started to cool off, and now
Got in when it was hot, and now I think. I don't want to say we're left with, but a lot of people, our peers, and I don't say this condescendingly or like to throw shade. A lot of folks had to go get other jobs.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of folks had to go get other jobs, and the truth is there just hasn't been enough to go around for everyone to survive at the level of survival that they were used to, or the level of luxury. Because if we put it on Instagram, right, everything is luxury, right?
Oh, of course.
So that's changed a lot in the last 18 months or so.
yeah.
But we're going to talk about what's to come, right? Like what's been exciting. So I'm excited, as Jimmy mentioned. I'm excited today. We had a jobs number that came out. Well, I mean, that's something strange to be excited about,
Right.
right?
It's very funny. Like for all my econ majors out there, typically what happens in the market is if the economy goes down, interest rates goes down because the Fed wants to keep the housing market afloat. So if people are quote unquote spending less money because there's less money to be spent, then they want to make sure that people are still out buying houses, so interest rates go down, which is why we saw like a very precipitous fall during COVID.
He flew with it. Precipitous. You went to HBCU, didn't you?
HBCU, baby.
There you
Oh,
go.
let's take HBCU.
Go ahead. Let me not derail you.
Right. But in the reverse, when the economy is doing better, then rates go up because the Fed is thinking like, well, we have more money, where people are making more money so they can afford more, so rates go up. Job numbers came out, actually fell. The number was lower than anticipated, lower for the first time in a while, which is supposed to be bad for the economy because there's less jobs being added, but also good for interest rates. So like we should start seeing if not necessarily a fall in interest rates in particular, we should see them get cheaper. So that was relatively good news.
We should see them get cheaper, but what I would say to all my agents out there, not the loan officers out there, because I don't care about y'all. I don't really care. I want y'all not to do well. The shit.
Doggy dog out here.
It's too cutthroat. It's cutthroat. We slicing the pie too many ways right now. But if you are an agent out there, or if you're a buyer out there right now, today, and we're gonna release this probably sooner than later. Today is a great time to lock in your interest rate if you're under contract, because your interest rate is cheaper than it was yesterday. Now, there's a whole lot of volatility in this market, We can't promise you that tomorrow will be the same.
Right.
Right. Now, the irony in what happened today is less people have jobs than was anticipated that they would have jobs. And the market reacted favorably to that.
Right.
The market celebrated, I don't want y'all to get me here, the market celebrated less people having jobs.
Yeah.
That is crazy, right? Because what the economy wants to happen for rates to go back to where it's never going to happen. The 3 and 4% range.
Never going to happen.
They want less people to have jobs.
Huh? We've had World War III.
Yeah, we
Second
could.
coming to COVID. Like, it's going to take something like that to get...
For that to happen.
Right.
So they want less people to have jobs so that less people are out spending money, which will then slow down inflation. And once inflation slows down, rates will come back in.
Right.
So basically, folks got to fail.
Right.
Folks got to do bad so
first.
other folks could buy houses.
Exactly.
Right. That is the most layman's way to explain this.
You almost have to like hope that Thanos snaps his fingers, but that you're on the right side of
the
snap.
snap.
Right.
You
Of the
got
snap. So, but yeah, so that is what's going on in the economics of it all. Jasmine, talk to us a little bit about you being boots on the ground, literally out here in these streets on an everyday basis. Because you're not no shade to the part timers. You're not a part time. No shade to the part timers. You're not a part time agent. You're out here getting to it. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing with your clients that you're talking to, the successes, the challenges. What's the vibe for you out here?
I can say it's honestly a mixture. It's not just a one or the other type of client that I'm seeing right now.
Right.
I do have clients that are able to walk into a new construction setting, get pre-approved that day, and we closing in 3 weeks.
Right.
And they got $35,000-$40,000 to close.
Right.
And then I have other clients that may have a 700 credit score, but then they only got $5,000 in the bank.
Right. Right.
So what I am seeing though is a sense of urgency that people are wanting to buy. Like they're wanting to be informed. I talked to someone yesterday that was like, I'm not ready right now because I don't have any credit. It wasn't because they didn't want to be in the market. It was I've never owned anything.
Right.
But I have a good job. I just had a settlement, $12,000. I don't even want to buy a car.
Right.
I'm ready to buy a house.
Right.
So the conversation is changing. I'm not getting so many, the interest rates are too high. And I don't know what to do with that. Because I think that was just a narrative that people just used because they saw it on social media. And I think it's the way you market yourself too. I don't market myself in an excuse way.
Right.
Don't come to me talking about NAR because you don't even know what they're talking about anyway. Please don't come to me talking about that.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with anything from a consumer aspect. It's more so how you choose to run your business as an agent. That's the conversation to have.
Right.
But I would say boots on the ground, just the market is hot. It's picking back up. It's becoming more conversational, relationally, making these relationships with new construction, with lenders, putting the right information out there, I think has been very beneficial right now. And I mean, I closed 3 deals last week.
Hey, last week.
We got a deal closing next week too. So I mean, we making the market hot.
Yeah,
right.
So
exactly.
My question about you mentioned there's a sense of urgency, right? Can you expound on that a little bit? And what I would like to know, in your opinion, where is that sense of urgency coming from? Is it coming from people who, for the last 2 years, were like, I'm gonna wait till this market crashes? Now all of a sudden they're having this come to Jesus moment, like, all right, it's not going to crash, or is it a sense of urgency from new people just entering the market and they're like, it is what it is, and I want to buy a house? Where do you see the sense of urgency coming from?
I do think the first people that were thinking that we were going to go into this housing apocalypse, and they're saying that that's not happening. So they're like, okay, let me get in. I see others are buying. I have family members, friends that are speaking about the opportunities that are available to me, and I've been missing out. So that's one. Two, I think it's a lot of people that are just tired of renting.
Right.
Rent is increasing. Management companies are like to no avail coming through. I've had 2 clients come to me. One, her apartment flooded. They didn't even give her a shot vac over the weekend. Her whole living room molded. And then I had a lady come to me that said, our house burned down while we were on vacation, and our landlord does not have us anywhere to go. We've been in our house for a week with no lights.
Wow.
So I think people are just tired of, I'm paying over $2,000 a month to be here, and then if anything happens, you're not taking care of me in a capacity that my family can survive. I need to go buy a house.
Right.
So I think it's just a mixture of a couple of things. And, it's the summertime. It's hot. People's, kids are going to be out of school.
Right.
And it's like, do I vacation this year? Or do I try to get in the house so I can be settled and situated and have some longevity going about my wealth,
Right.
So.
Right. What is your average, or if you have an average demographic of your buyer? When I mean by that, I'm talking about age group, because I asked that question because I think that, I know you're the youngest out of everyone in the room.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm pushing 50. I'm pushing 50, right? And my generation, it was buy a house, get you some equity and all of that stuff. Now, and that was being pushed on my generation, coming out of college. So like in our 20s and all of that stuff, right? I don't feel, and I could be wrong, the younger generation that are in their 20s, early 30s, they ain't on the house tip. They don't want to be tied to a car, right? So, what are you seeing in terms of your age group?
Disagree.
That's why I'm asking.
I would disagree. I mean, I have had clients 25, 26 years old that are in homes, not that just recently purchased. They purchased like last year or the year before that. I have a client now, she's, I want to say 27, and she wants to sell her townhome that they bought 2 years ago and start a family compound with her parents.
Okay.
So I would say that majority of my clients are under the age of 50.
Okay.
So we have the younger mix, and then we have mid-30s, mid-40s that are, just establishing or remarrying or marrying or whatever, and they're, looking to start something for their family. So I don't think I've had a client over the age of 50.
Okay. Now, what do you say in your consultation with your buyers, right? Like that may be on the fence, because I think many people that do want to buy a house, right? Oftentimes with anything, we talk ourselves out of things sometimes, right? And then we say, well, my credit ain't right. I don't have the money saved up. What do you say to that person outside of, well, let me at least let you talk to Jimmy, right? And we assess your situation. How do you, without twisting somebody's arm and being a saleswoman trying to make a sale, right? Because we're all salespeople, right? Exactly. But you want to get, I know you give white glove treatment. How do you kind of coach your buyers that have some apprehension? How do you coach them along in the process?
I just tell them straight up. If anybody knows about working with me, I'm very transparent. The jazz that you get today, the jazz that y'all get, is the jazz that my clients get. I think you can attest to that. I don't play.
Right. We've been on several late night conversations with borrowers that
and I'm like, look, we gonna cut the foolishness. It's 8:30. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm transparent enough to say, how do you know where you are if we don't know? Don't tell me what Credit Karma has said. Don't tell me what your aunt that bought a house 30 years ago has said. Don't tell me what you think, because you're not a lender. You don't know. Right. And I don't know. Right. This is not my lane. So why not have some clarity about where you are so we can figure out where you're going? Right. That's every conversation. Right. If you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. You're taking a shot in the dark. I'm just going to pay off all my debt. Well, that could shoot you in the foot. Right. You might not need to do that. You know, I'm very vocal about, I don't believe in credit repair.
Right.
I love that Jimmy takes the time to create analyzers for my clients. You're not paying for this service. You're not feeling like you're trusting somebody's uncle in the backyard to go wipe your credit clean and do all this foolishness.
In the backyard on the grill.
In the back, while he grilling and pouring Coronas over
the
ribs. And he's wiping your credit clean for $2,000. The sandals and the socks.
Yes.
Every time.
At the same time. Right.
While he wiping your credit. No.
Seasoning the grill with an onion and removing your disputes with his left hand.
With the trucker headphones on. He got you. He's straight.
About that, you wouldn't go to you wouldn't go to a doctor, right? You need a goddamn surgery. You're gonna let the surgeon do surgery and see the grill. Yeah. All right, well, go ahead. But we just talking logic, folks. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
We do that, and I don't think it makes sense. Yeah. So, that's the most focal point of my consultations, and I think once they, know that I'm rational, B, I'm not trying to get you to spend unnecessary. Everybody wants to hear, I don't have to spend.
Right.
So once you hear, oh, I don't have to pay for this, and all it's gonna cost me is a credit pull. Like I told a lady yesterday, you're letting the rental companies pull your credit, and they charging you $350 to do it.
Right.
I don't think you charge $350
and everything.
I ain't never known that you charge $350 to pull no credit. You know, and you don't even know where you going with that. They just say, "Oh, we can't approve it," and you'll get a letter in the mail in 2 weeks, and maybe you'll get your holding deposit back in 2 years.
Right.
That's not helpful to you. So I think that the narrative that I have with people is, I'm trying to help you. You know, and what that looks like for you on the back end is you're going to be a homeowner, and you're going to be creating wealth, and you're going to be doing something that's substantially different than anything you've ever done in your life.
Right.
You going to have to do the work. Right. You know, and I also tell them, I'm going to push you. If you tell me that you want to be a homeowner, don't tell me that today and think I'm not going to call you next week. Right. And I'm going to call you next month. And I need to get your husband on the phone. What time y'all available tonight? Right. Like, that's the conversation, because you didn't told me this is what you want to do. And if you're serious about it, then this is a serious this is a business for me. Right. But at the same time, I'm trying to change your life. Right. So you have to be open to let me do that.
Right. It's funny that you should say, this is a business for me, right? One of the numbers that I dislike when people say, I do real estate. Right? No one says I do lawyering. I do doctoring.
I do barbering.
I do real estate, right? When I hear people say that, it's kind of like
it's like it's a hobby for you.
It's a hobby.
Or a side gig or something.
It's a side gig, or you don't, like Jasmine said, this is a business for me. Mm-hmm. Right? And there's a vast difference between successful loan officers, successful realtors, and the ones that don't succeed. Mm-hmm. Right? The ones that are successful that I've come across, that we talk to, Jasmine sitting with us, we talk to some heavy hitters. All of them that I know have a process. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Have a flow chart of how they, and this is not specific to real estate. Anybody that you talk to that's upper echelon in their profession, they have a process.
Yep. Exactly.
Right? So if your process is, I'm going to do real estate.
Real estate going to do you.
Real estate, right, exactly. Real estate going to do you. Right. Right? Because even from our seats, like, and Jimmy, talk a little bit about, like, you get Jasmine send someone over to you, and she done buttered them up, got them to, she did her thing. She ran her business. Mm-hmm. Because this is nothing more than a relay race with a baton. Mm-hmm. She got the baton from the lead, whatever her lead generation source is. She got the baton. She has the conversation. She runs her business. Mm-hmm. Now she's passing the baton to you. Right. Right? Now sometimes they get to you. They're 100% ready. They're ready to go. But sometimes you get them, and they still need some, they need to be persuaded a little bit more. Right. Mm-hmm. So talk about that and those challenges from your seat as a loan officer, overcoming objections of, well, I'm not going to buy now. Rates are 7%, prices this. How are you dealing with those objections to get them? Because you wanted to, I gotta tell you, you one of the best and worst at what we see done. Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because we call you. You got the Jimmy. You gonna Jimmy it. It may take 6 months, but you're gonna figure out how to work the Rubik's cube and get the clear to close. Like, so it's a compliment. But I done scratch my head and see you take some shit. I'm like, oh shit, how's he gonna do it? I've seen you do the Rubik's cube in 20 days and it's done. Mm-hmm. I've also seen you talk to people and get them from a 420 credit score and get them approvable, and 6 months later they're clear to close. Yeah. So you cover the gamut of the people out there. Yeah, you do. Like you
we gotta give you that.
You like so much so. My wife is an agent. Mm-hmm. She use him. She use him because she know I ain't got the patience for it. I ain't got it.
I think what was that last week? A client said, "How do you do this?"
Oh yeah.
And you was like, "I'm just me. I just do it." It's so calm about it. I'm like, "Look, I tell you, when we get on the phone, I'm like, look, I done had coffee. Yeah. And my anxiety is about a 6.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at an 8 by the end of the day, but we're gonna make it through. Yeah. Like those are our conversations.
I'm at home with my wife, and she talking about, hold on, my loan officer calling. I'm like, oh yeah, I knew you didn't have the you didn't have the temperament for this.
That ain't your lane,
right?
And the client that you're talking about, we already talked about that. We know that you didn't have.
We know it. We know
that was not gonna be your cup of tea at all.
So you gracefully walk both lanes, right? So talk a little bit about, to the, I call him Miss Brown of the world, who is, she thinking about it. She want to do it, but she knows she got some challenges. Like, you're that guy to help her. How do you how do you do real estate?
How do I do real estate?
Yeah.
And make sure it don't get done to me first.
Right.
I think the main part is basically why we started this platform in the first place is the education piece of it. Like, that's one of the things that I enjoy the most is educating people in general, but especially educating our people. Because like we said, a lot of times we don't have like the tools or the wherewithal or the pretty much anything as far as, like, we're not taught what we need to be taught until we get to that point.
Right.
Like, we're not teaching, and I don't know if anybody's teaching their kids really, like, how to govern your credit, how to not only obtain real estate, but utilize that real estate to its advantages so it can start building wealth for you. So that's why I try to get them to realize, like, look, this is, yes, I'm going to ask you for every documentation known to man, and yes, we're going to pull your credit, and it can be scary, but this is what I'm here for, to guide you along this process, because I believe that everybody deserves home ownership. Everybody deserves that feeling of having something that's yours. And we talk about this all the time. We're like, a lot of times it's not just, oh, we closed this home and it was for this loan amount or whatnot. Like, no, this is these siblings' first time having separate rooms because they've been in the same room for forever, because they can only afford to rent a 2-bedroom for forever. And now they've moved up to where now we're in a 3-bedroom. So now I have my own space. Right. Like, not we, but like, I don't think a lot of people like actually like take into account like how that can make a person feel. So yeah, I just try to get them to see the benefits of it, because now, especially nowadays, like, the rent is just as high as your mortgage is going to be, and the rental companies are asking for the same stuff we asking for. Right. Like, they pulling credit, they asking for W-2s and bank statements and pay stubs and all that stuff. Yeah, you need a 640 credit score now, or you're gonna have to pay like some obscene, like the first last and 3 months rent that they asking for your deposit.
That's your down payment.
That's your down payment right there.
Yes.
Right.
So
the same way you're able to pull together the first last in the deposit. Same way you can collate that.
Do that and
get a down payment.
And get a down payment for something that you actually own and that can make you money over the long term.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I try to specialize doing. Like, I think I've told this story before, but the reason that I take time and care doing that is because my late mother-in-law, one of the reasons why I got into this business in the first place is when she was buying her house, when she first moved. Like, we moved here and then she moved up here like a month after that. And when she was going through the process of buying her house, the guy that was talking to her took a lot of care, and he was patient and everything. And she turned to me and said, "You would be perfect for this. Like, I know a lot of people that need somebody like this in this position. You would be perfect for this."
Right.
And I think I ended up working, like, starting Homestar like maybe 6 months after she died. And like, I remember when I got the job, I was like, she did that. Like, she was like, just everything that happened around me starting in this business, I'm like, yeah, you was pulling strings up there. Like, you was in somebody's ear up there to get me in this position.
Right.
So,
right. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no, I was just about to say, yeah, that's why I take pride in that, because I don't think a lot of people, and I don't want to speak for every loan officer, but I'm going to speak for every loan officer. Right. Most loan officers, they might look at your profile and they say like, oh, well, you don't already have this, and this, so we can't help you. Come back when you do. Mm-hmm. Well,
they knackering them. They giving them the knacker treatment.
Basically,
no shade. Shade, but no shade.
Right, basically, or Rocket, or like whoever you want to throw in, Navy Federal, whoever you want to throw in there. Yeah. Shade, no shade. But I don't think that those people take the time to actually see like, okay, well, if you get to this score, and this is how you can get to this score, if you can get to this piece right here, or if you can save this, or if we can count this part of your income, then maybe you can get to this point. And just making sure that you hold their hand and guide them along the way, and kind of play therapist along the way, because you got to reassure them like, hey, we know that it's a process, but like this is the biggest investment in yourself that you can make ever.
Exactly.
So it's worth the process that you're going through, and I'm here to help you along the way.
And I think even to piggyback off of that, like, I think that people want to know that they're not going to be judged to be in the space that they're in. So, I'm giving you the tools and resources necessary because I'm not judging you, and I know that you can get to where you need to be versus, oh, holla at me when you get there.
Right.
That kind of makes people feel like, okay, so I wasn't good enough for your time. I wasn't good enough for you to at least coach me, and we should all be coachable at different points of life.
I've seen just about every credit profile. I've had just about every credit profile. So like, I'm not like, I remember when I was there. Yeah, I remember when I helped this person a few months ago when they were there. So like, I know that we can get you where you need to be.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna be the Republican of this conversation.
This gonna be interesting.
I'm gonna be the Republican of this.
You gonna be old school Republican or Trump Republican?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how this goes.
Okay. Why I say that? I'll preface it with I give you all of your flowers, right? Because I've seen you. We probably sat in the same space for over 3 years, in terms of about 2 years sharing an office space, right? Yeah. So within earshot of each other, and I saw how you ran your business. You saw how I ran my business. I listened to how you ran your business. You probably paid no attention to me, but that's another story for another time. So
I gave you compliment. You handled some situations that you handled like with a lot of grace.
Around the edges. I was a little rough around the edges.
Like angry New Yorker.
I'm from Brooklyn. Right. You understand what I'm saying? There's certain things.
The angry New Yorker come out sometimes.
Sometimes. Right. But let's not focus on me. This is not about me. It's not about me. This is about you. So I've seen you in action jump through hoops like you won't believe. It's stuff with your buyers that you don't even know that he does.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right? And you praise him. I've seen you praise him publicly and open, not privately, but we folks, you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? We ain't gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
I straight up told him, I'm not sending you no business.
Yeah,
Jimmy,
he told me.
And I was like, fuck Jimmy.
But you
he ain't all that. I was like, he ain't all that. I don't even like him.
Send him a picture of us so he'll be mad.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I was like, I got her, Jimmy. Got her. You know what I'm saying? But no. So I've seen you do what you do. I've seen you do your magic. I've seen you exercise your patience, right? And work with these people, and get deals closed for agents that I'm almost certain that not many other loan officers would have gotten closed just by virtue of having the patience to do it. I know I wouldn't have done it. I know for fact I would have aborted mission 3 months earlier than you did. I can speak factually for myself.
Don't even write the offer.
Don't even. It ain't going. I've had situations where I've told agents no at application, but if there's any hope out there for you, I got a guy for you. Send them old Jimmy.
I feel like I've closed at least 2. Like, he's not even lying. These are exact conversations that he's had. Yeah, and I think I've closed at least 2 people like that.
Yeah,
that you
I'm not doing it.
It's not my lane.
It's not my lane.
They get to talking 203K, on the foreclosure, and I got a 607 credit score.
I got a specialist for you,
and I need down payment assistance.
Yeah. So
I need some gift funds.
Right.
So I say all that, and I want our listeners out there, when you hear this story about Jimmy, this is what frustrates me: the lack of commitment to him. Right? For all of y'all realtors out here that have used him. Because y'all done did it. Y'all done used my boy. Y'all done used him. And then what happens is...
I see a Facebook post like a week later, like, anybody know any good lenders?
Yeah, I'm going to get there. I'm going there. I'm going there. So what happens is, from what my experience, as I've seen realtors, they got, I got a guy for this, or girl for this, a guy or girl for this. I got my hard money. I got my hard loan guy. I got my easy guy, I got my down payment assistance guy, whatever. Mm-hmm. Now what happens is Jimmy becomes the guy that does all the hard stuff. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Now you flood him with all the hard stuff. All the shit bullshit. That's taking 5 months. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you out here with somebody else that's closing all these 700 credit scores with folks with down payment assistance. I would
take those too.
Yeah.
Like all my 800 credit scores, 20% to put down. I love y'all too.
So that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. So for all of you all that have used Jimmy, used him, and had him miss, we went to Lake Tahoe, and he missed the whole trip. Because he was working on, I was sitting by the veranda with a drink, so not stressed at all.
This is like a awesome. Like, this will always be an awesome mortgage story. Like Lake Tahoe, we used to take a trip. I mean, we still kind of loosely take a trip with all the top earners in the company, and the branch used to go to Lake Tahoe every January. This one specific month, I had like 5 closings. I had more closings, but like 5 of them that were like on fire, something going on. Like one dude like ACH'd his cash to close to the closing attorney instead of wiring it, and we had to wait for it to come back 3 days before he could, all type of stuff. We're in the casino in Lake Tahoe because we ain't skiing.
No,
we black.
No, drinking.
No, I might put a ski outfit on.
Right, I went ski. You know what
I mean?
I tried it out. It was nice. I don't never have to do it again. Yeah. Like, I'm not cold weather guy.
Yeah,
casino, I'm there.
Yeah.
Period.
He's having the time of his life.
Time of my life.
At the poker table.
I ain't know how I was gonna pay my mortgage that month, but I was having the time. I was living in the moment. You understand?
I'm sitting at video poker in the slots, answering back-to-back phone calls, trying to get these files done. So like, I'm in the casino like losing it.
Right.
It's like, all right, you do this. Make sure like you got 401k funds. Go ahead and whydraw those. That way we won't have to wait the full week for your funds to come back. All right, you just applied for a Macy's card while we was in. Why did you do that? But this is how we gonna fix it. This other person like, okay, you went out and got 2 cars, not 1, but 2 cars while you under contract.
Right.
All right, you got some money sitting to the side. We're gonna do assets for income. So, just fixing like the Rubik's Cube analogy, like fixing the Rubik's Cube and then somebody twisted to turn the colors back. So like, all right, I gotta get it back and fix it.
Or take the sticker off.
Take the stickers off.
Take the sticker off. Right.
So like, that's forever gonna be funny to me.
Right.
Like, I'm in the casino. That has taught me like, before you go on vacations, make sure all your shit is in order.
In line.
And you try to, right?
And it still don't work. I was about to say it still don't work because I did the same thing in Hawaii.
You didn't know they was going to go to the car lot and just go pick up no cars.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter.
So what I'm saying to all of that, and this ties into Jasmine as well, when you got somebody out there that's lobbying for you and just like going hard for you, acknowledge them, promote them. Right, because that's one of the things I don't think we do good enough as folk. We don't promote each other.
We don't.
Right, yep. We oftentimes promote other things and other folks. We need to promote our people, and people in general. I'm equal opportunist on my Republican move right now.
Okay.
Right, I'm just saying. But the promotion of, I've literally seen him go through all of the things that he discussed and close some loans, and then I see agents that he's closed loans for go on social media and say, hey, you guys know any good lenders out there? And I'm like, I just watched this man close stuff for you that would not have closed.
Do some abracadabra.
Abracadabra, right?
Right.
And then you have the question to be like, what's a good lender? And the answer would be someone that answers the phone.
Which I do.
Right.
But
and I'm like, that's such a low bar of entry.
And it's funny that you say that because we talked about that the other day, and I feel like I'm like slick loan officer on the side. You probably didn't know that, but like, and I'm slick loan officer. So we'll talk about things, and I'll be like, okay, so can we do this? Like, what about this? And remember you told me this? And that's our conversation. Like, it's not that I want all the work to always be on you, because I do know that you are strategizing in the background. But if I've seen something 3 times, hey, you remember when we did this trickaroo? Like, can we do this? You know, like, or can do this work? Can we roll that equity?
Like, you know what?
Yeah, like we can do that.
But that's you running a business and not doing real estate.
Oh exactly. Yeah, I don't do.
You see what I'm saying? That's the
and
difference.
It ain't gonna do me.
Yeah,
that also goes back to the education piece of it, and because we sit around with our colleagues who are not of our hue or of our pigmentation. That
white folks. Is that what we're talking about? Don't confuse me, man. Hues and pigmentation. I'm GED, bro. Keep that shit. We talking about the white folks?
Trying to, like the revolution not supposed to be televised.
Oh, the uncolored and uncultured.
Right. My bad.
The whites.
The white
Hallelujah.
But seriously, not to make it racial, but we sit around like upper echelon, like affluent white people all the time, and they talk about all the loopholes that they know about the tax code and how they save money and put money here to make sure it's making money for them. We don't have those conversations. Exactly. So that's another thing that I try to pride myself on, is knowing all the loopholes to bring them back to my people.
Right.
So we can fit them in like those, we fit those square pegs in those round holes sometimes with just knowing.
Who Jimmy think he is. Oh, smart. That's what we get
with
though.
His hues and pigmentation.
Yeah, you bring it back to the folks and that's... I want to know when them Jordans is coming out. He talking about tax codes. I want to talk about when them 13s drop.
If I could show you how to turn your Jordans into an asset, not a liability.
Right. Hey, that's a conversation we're having.
No, I got you. So, Jasmine, what would you say to the person out there who is kind of watching the news? The news now is TikTok.
Basically.
Right? The buyer out there is watching the news and watching social media, is getting their information from social media, but they want to buy a house. They just don't know where to start, right? What would you tell them? Where would you guide them? What would be your first step of action to Miss Brown that wants to buy a house?
I would say be careful with the tailoring of your content and your conversations. So I'm not going to say stay off TikTok. TikTok has a plethora of great information. But if you are centering everything around how do I get a house for free?
You don't.
You don't.
Let's start there.
You know, you worried about all the people is the housing market good? That's not really tailoring to what you're asking. You're trying to figure out how to get started. Right. How do I start the home ownership process? Where do I need to start? You know, who can I have a conversation with in regards to being a homeowner? You know, those are the conversations that you want, because once you ask, how is the housing market? You're going to get all kind of CNN and stuff that you don't even know what it means.
You're going to get opinions. You're going to get opinions.
You get opinions, exactly. Right. Versus where do I start in the housing process? That's concrete. You know, you start with your lender, you get pre-approved. Like that step, that doesn't change regardless of who you are. So I would say, like, just be careful of how you're wording the conversation, and look for professionals that you watch. I watch people.
Right.
I'm a creep.
Right.
I am a people watcher.
Right.
I will follow you for 6 months, 8 months. I want to see how you move.
Right.
And I feel like people just get with the first thing, and then, you know, and I hate to say it, but as agents, we have to do better, because we get pre-approvals and then we ghost people and we leave them high and dry. And then you got another agent that's trying to pick up the pieces of building trust that I didn't break.
Right.
I shouldn't have to build that trust back up.
They bringing baggage into the relationship? It is
the bag lady. I'm carrying everybody's bags. I'm like, y'all do a better job. Yeah. Because I'm having my back hurt.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel bad for the consumers, because they do feel abandoned. They feel that, you know, you're being disloyal, that you're not doing what you say you're doing. Like, I'm passionate about what I do. You know, I have purpose at this point. I'm very big on speaking about purpose, because everybody can't do what we do. And so when you thinking it's about the money, or you looking at it as transactional, you lose the message. And then, you know, you're trying to plead your case with people because everybody's delivering the same message. But when you get in the mud with them, they didn't abandon you. They gone, you know, and I'm down here in the trenches trying to figure it out. So I would say, you know, educate yourself as people, especially our people in our community. That's the first steps. If you're Mrs. Jones and you're trying to figure out about home ownership, don't go talk to your auntie that bought a house 30 years ago.
Well, 3 years ago. No, or your auntie that even your auntie that bought a house 3 years ago is not even applicable to today.
Or your parents that, you know, I'm from Mississippi. I'm not gonna go talk to my grandfather. Batesville.
Okay, I don't know Batesville, but go ahead.
Nobody knows.
I'm just saying. Right. You said it with pride. You said it with pride. I respect it. You said that shit like it was.
Look, it's huge.
All right, go ahead. You got it. Oh, Mississippi. Oh, Mississippi.
We manufacture a lot of greatness.
Listen. I didn't know Mississippi was a real place till about 33. Oh my God. I promise you.
You know
Let me tell y'all, and I don't want to get off track here.
Don't do that.
No, I promise you. Let me tell y'all. Can I tell y'all a quick story?
We're the laborers.
Can I tell y'all a quick story?
Let's hear the story.
You know, we gotta realize we live in a world of social media now where we see everything, right? Like you know, with everything. Well, I'm pushing 50. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit. Not that I'm old, but
old.
You know what? She can go. I'm over her shit. Got a nail. She's getting nasty. You know what I mean? She pack her shit up. You know what I mean? She pack her shit up. You know, well, you're old. You're old and you're grumpy. Jimmy, you shouldn't have him on. It's a bad combination. He's just mad.
Well, you said old, so I was like, you're just a little old.
You know what I mean? Thinking back into the Republican thing, you could do old and grumpy on Fox.
I could, yes.
All day long.
I mean, so I could be the token.
Yeah. You're just the season that they need.
Exactly. Yeah, okay. But anyway, back to the Mississippi thing, right? Like, you know, growing up in New York, you know, you might have, and I didn't leave to go to college. I grew up there. I went to college. I didn't really, you know, span out. Like, my folks were from North Carolina, so that was like deep south for me, like going down to North Carolina. Mm-hmm. You heard about Mississippi, whatever, like you heard about it. Like, I won't even say in school because I didn't really study that much, but you heard about it, right? Like, it's one of the states. This long ass, all these S's and P's, and I don't even know how to spell that shit. Like, I don't even, how do you even put this shit together?
Oh, you don't know the song?
Yeah, I know. Come on, man. Listen, I got it. David Banner came out when I was an adult. When I was already.
I said that's good college days right there.
Listen. I'm talking about early on. David Banner, I was already getting something when David Banner came out. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking post-puberty, pre-puberty. Excuse me. So anyway, get down here. I was probably like 32, 33, and I'm driving from Atlanta to Memphis.
I lived in Memphis half my life.
Yeah, okay. Sorry to hear that. So, shit is rough. Shit is rough. I'm just saying, shit is rough.
You can't say that if you're going through Memphis.
I'm not going back.
They don't play that.
I'm not going back.
I was about to say,
I'm good on that. First 48 kept me off. I said, I ain't never going there.
That's how they coming.
Memphis in May.
You have that.
Please don't.
You gotta.
Please don't. It's not the same.
You gotta do that to go to Arkansas, right? You gotta.
Oh yeah, you go straight through.
Yeah, that's like
over the bridge.
if we like, cause I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. If we wanted to,
Look at you.
if we want to party,
too much southern shit going on. We need some. Throw some Hove on in the background.
Do that.
I'm wrong.
If we want to kick it, we drive to Little Rock. If we want to kick it, we drive 3 hours to Memphis.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah,
gotcha. So I'm driving to Memphis, cutting through Mississippi. Mm-hmm. We cross, I guess, the Mississippi state line. It says, "Welcome to Mississippi." I'm like, God damn, all right. Then there was this big stone wall, right, that said Mississippi on it. That wall looked like the shit was about a mile long, and Mississippi just seemed so long. And I'm like, yo, I gotta get out and feel it. Yeah. Like, I gotta feel it.
Just breathe the air.
I gotta feel it. So I literally got out the car, and all the stuff that was ancestral with us and stuff that we know that we experience as folk in Mississippi, it was tangible. Like, I can feel it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo, this is a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
You right?
Oh, yeah.
And I got the hell on.
Oh, I mean.
I got the hell on. No, I'm just saying. So that was, but all the folks that I have now met from Mississippi, y'all some good folks.
Oh, we can cook.
Y'all,
and we clean.
Hey, basics. The basics.
Look, cook and clean.
The basics. Well, we having some technical difficulties. I'm fine. Everybody behind the camera. No, but no, we good back there.
Yeah, we about to switch.
All right,
switch cameras.
So I don't even know where I went.
Mississippi.
So we were talking about so that was it. I had it. So I asked you where you're from, but I don't even know how I got on that. But yeah, shout out to Mississippi. What part of Mississippi?
Batesville. Batesville.
Shout out to Batesville. All the folks. Y'all got your hometown girl. She done came up to the AMA good.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? She done came up and found a nail salon up here.
Period.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to my nail salon.
You know what I mean? She done got it popping for Batesville.
Oh no, that's what we were. So I was talking about that. You were asking me about the people, like if they were to get into buying a home, you know, their background and how they would go about it. Right. And I was saying that, you know, I'm from Mississippi, which is a smaller population. I would never have a conversation with my grandfather about buying a house. Oh. First of all, he probably paid $50,000 for his house way back when. So if I be like, "Oh, granddaddy, I'm looking at a house and it's $375,000," he gonna look at me like
he fall out the chair.
Yeah, what?
Right.
Like,
right. He
you
fall
know.
out the chair.
So it'll be like, you buying a mansion.
Right.
No, it's a time.
Yeah.
You know? So, I think that's another thing too. People lean on their family so much, and I'm a family person, so I'm not gonna say don't lean on your family, but sometimes when it comes to certain topics, investing, you know, understanding financial literacy, home ownership, you don't want to have those conversations with people that are not in the same realm as where you are. So that's where we were going with that. A house in Mississippi now is still $150,000.
Right. But oftentimes about the same realm, it's all about like our circle of influence. Oftentimes we don't have the same realm of people just by virtue of how many of us have grown up in our families, where we come from. Yeah, there's a few of us who have grown up in affluence, right? That's we know, but by and large, most of us haven't grown up in affluence where these conversations are had, and we can get these pointers just on a regular conversation. So to the point of reaching out to a professional, talking to a professional, like you don't have a toothache and go to Piedmont Urgent Care. Right, no. You go to the damn dentist. Right. So when you want to buy a house, you want to talk to a person that does real estate, a real estate doer, a person that runs their business.
You want to talk to an expert.
You want to talk
to somebody that knows what they're talking about.
You want to talk to an expert
and actually listen to that expert.
Right.
Like don't just hire them and then still listen to.
You go talk to your auntie and come back and tell the expert what your auntie said.
Right. My auntie said that rates is about to fall any minute. Like,
right.
My auntie said the housing market about to crash, so I'm trying to get these foreclosures.
Right.
Okay.
Your auntie work at Denny's. Like, what does she know?
Right. All
and don't even own a house.
Right. And she renting. Like, what she know about the foreclosure market?
Right. So, what advice?
You sounded southern. What would y'all? What?
You been here long enough.
Batesville.
You been here long enough. Hey, it's creeping up on
Batesville, baby. Old class of 94.
Excuse me, 2009.
I'm talking about myself.
I was about to say,
I'm old. I was remember? I'm 94, Batesville. Forget the mascot, but we had one. You know what I'm saying? 94.
Old Tigers.
Look, I'm still popping though. You understand me? I'm still popping though. You know what I mean? I've been drinking my water. You know what I mean?
I ain't fresh.
Yeah, you trying to say I ain't fresh. You trying to say I ain't fresh. You trying to say I ain't fresh.
I promise I was not saying that. You don't got off the fat farm too.
With the grease.
You know what I mean? And the socks in the sandwich.
Yes. You trying to say I ain't fresh. That's hilarious. But no. So in closing, because this will go on for all day. What for the folks out there, one that want to contact you, let them know how to contact you. Either of you that want to buy, like, you know, what are we telling people right now? Like, you know, the market's not crashing. No, the Atlanta Metro is the market has changed, is stronger. Talk to the people. Tell them, you know, what they need to do, where they, you know, how they need to get in contact with you, where to reach you, all the good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Ladies first? Okay, gotcha. So my business page is JK Moves GA. I'm located on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I am on TikTok. My personal page is Jasmine King. So either way that you want to contact me, that's fine. I'm more than happy to provide any information or be a resource. If you have questions, DM me, comment under a post, whatever you want to do to be able to reach me. But again, it's JK Moves GA because JK Moves GA.
She popped the collar. That's what I'm talking about.
No shoulders. She didn't even have on the whole shirt and popped it. That was Batesville.
Period. That's the sauce.
Shoulder strap. Popped it. Nails. Pop.
Period.
All right.
Right.
Jimmy, talk to him about getting pre-approved and how that how quick can you get me a pre-approval letter? They always want to know.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, how quick can you give me documents? Same day. Same day. So you can reach me on my cell 870-413-0531. I'm on all socials at Jimmy Does Home Loans and my website jimmydoeshomeloans.com.
Y'all know how to reach me. I'm in these streets. Let me stop joking around. So no, listen.
Shout out to Magic Mind, our sponsor too. Before we get out of here,
Magic Mind is phenomenal. I've been using them. My brain is sharper. I'm just, you know what I'm saying. I was moving out of Batesville place, but I didn't have me some Magic Mind. I'm just saying, Batesville is nice and calm. That's all I'm saying.
It's a retirement community.
It's nice and calm.
It's slow.
I don't want no.
We got 6 red lights in the Walmart.
That's fine. I was just saying.
That makes a city.
That's it. A Walmart. That's all you need is a Walmart.
And then I stepped it up.
We had a Fred's. You remember Fred's?
I remember Fred's.
Man, they had the good cocoa butter.
What the fuck? Fred's used to be as prevalent as Dollar General's out here.
I swear. Yeah, it was like
Shout out to Fred's.
Shout out to Fred's, man.
Fred's did not make it north of the Mason-Dixon, y'all. So I'm going to tell y'all now, Fred's might not have made it to goddamn North Carolina. I'm telling you now.
They probably had a Fred's.
I don't know. That might have been like, how Wawa didn't get down.
It's regional.
Yeah, it's regional.
Shout out to Fred over there.
Y'all don't got Waffle House either.
Oh, see, y'all missing out on everything.
What?
Oh my
Trash.
gosh.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Waffle House is an institution. We're not gonna do that.
That's another episode.
I had a cousin come from, or not cousin. My brother-in-law came from California. The first thing he wanted to do was go to Waffle House.
He just has a limited scope. That's all that meant.
He considers himself a foodie.
I can consider myself a surgeon. You won't let me do surgery? Fuck with you. He identified as a foodie. I identify as a surgeon. You come here. I got a scalpel. You gonna fucking lay on the table? Oh my God. Listen, y'all. We are back. Our podcast has been nothing but spectacular today.
Yes.
We have the great Jasmine King.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We have Jimmy Hicks. I'm Anthony Rogerson. We look forward to talking to y'all soon. Y'all be blessed now.
Peace.